What's up, everyone? Anyways, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG deck builders episode. Anyways, so yeah, as you guys can see, I am going to go ahead and talk about the Mega Gardevoir deck. Now, this is an overhyped deck a couple months ago, actually about a month ago, because of Mega Mewtwo's weakness. It hits directly, and because it's such a powerful deck. I mean, you're one-shotting Mega Mewtwo, you are basically one-shotting a lot of Pokemon, if not double-shotting them, just because of how powerful Miss Gardevoir is. It is, however, a deck that will be seen not played as much with the meta changing with Sun and Moon. But if you guys still want to play this this deck, it's a fairly decently priced deck. I mean, you need the two Shamans, unfortunately, in this deck. Gardevoirs are pretty cheap, actually, from generations. So that's not bad on the price for Gardevoir. These ones right here, you can get these guys for about $2. This, however, the Despair Ray that we're running here is about a $16 card each. So and this is the full art, so you don't have to get the full art, but you know, a non-full art Mega Gardevoir, you're looking at, I think it's like $10. So I mean, it's not super expensive, but they're not cheap either. So and Shaman, obviously, like I said, is probably the most expensive card in here. And you need to run two Shamans in this deck, sadly. And you need to have 3 Dragonite. So otherwise, everything else in this deck is pretty legit with staples, and they're not super cheap either. Staples are not cheap at all. So you're looking at a pretty decently priced deck for about roughly in the $100 range. Whereas Mega Ray, last time that I talked to you guys about, Mega Ray is about a $200 to $300 deck if you're going from scratch to the build. So this is a meta deck. It's not a cheap build. It's not a super expensive build either. But one of these days, I want to go ahead and throw you guys out probably my Delphox Fairy deck and show you guys an actual deck that's cheap to build. That's about a $40 deck all around. It's very budget friendly. It's a tier 2 deck. I mean, it's not really meta, but you can fight against metas because of how devastating the deck is. You guys have seen it on my Pokemon TCG Let's Battles before, and it's a good deck. But you know, when you're going into regionals, you want to go with a meta deck. You're not going to want a tier 2 or below. You want to go in there with a meta deck so you can go ahead and just, you know, destroy your opponents. So I mean, having Mega Rayquaza is a decent card. It's still played quite often. I don't know how much is going to be played when Sun and Moon come out, but I could see it being played still. Obviously, currently right now, as I probably should show you guys my standard format Zygarde deck. I know you guys have seen it with one of my tournament unwrappings, Let's Breaks. That deck right there will be played a lot. I mean, you're gonna start to see Zygarde being played a lot. I mean, he's gonna hit for weakness in the new meta for a lot. So, and he's such a quick attacker, such a dangerous attacker, that I would actually personally, if I were you guys, buy Zygarde. He's gonna be your hitter right there. Zygarde's going to be a dangerous deck. But, not only further ado, guys, I mean, the Mega Gardevoir is still a prominent deck, still such a good deck, and I can still see it being played. I just don't know how much it's going to be played in the meta here, but it is still a prominent deck, still that's really extremely dangerous deck. If you guys want to buy it, want to go ahead and make the deck, I would highly suggest you guys do. It's such a consistent deck that I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's a real fun deck to run, just like Mega Rayquaza. So, yeah, and all the cards in this video, actually, guys, I actually did end up buying. Yep, all these cards were actually bought over at Galactic stores, toy stores. If you guys get a chance to hit them up at their storefront in the Kentwood area of Grand Rapids area. They're such good guys. Jeff over there, he's a real good guy, and his co-owner. They're really good guys out there. You could buy Pokemon singles. You know, they're the main guy I go over to buy singles for Pokemon for my competitive stuff. He just got good deals, and he's one of my Pokemon League guys too. So, you know, he hosts tournaments on Saturday. If you hit him up on the Facebook, I'll hit you guys up with the links in below in the description for you guys if you want to check them out. But yeah, if you don't get a chance to go over to their storefront, hit them up on the web page. over at galactictoys.com. That's www.galactictoys.com. And where you can go ahead and find much more than just Pokemon singles, but you can find their toys and statues and all your needs for other things. Yeah, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and start up with this Pokemon TCG deck builders episode. So yeah, and again, I don't get paid for advertising them. I do this because these guys are just really good guys. Like I said, I don't make enough off of these videos. I do it for you guys, and I do it for him because he's such a good guy. He deserves a shout out. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So we got Xerneas. We got 2 Hoopa EXs, 2 Shaman EXs, 3 Dragonite EXs, 4 Gardevoir EXs, 3 Mega Gardevoir EXs. We got 3 Skyfields, 3 Mega Gardevoir Spirit Links, a Super Rod, 3 Mega Turbos, 3 Trainer's Mails, 4 Ultra Balls, 4 VS Seekers, Pokemon Ranger, Brock's Grit, Skyla, 2 Lysanders, 3 Hen, and 4 Sycamore, 4 Double Colors Energy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Fairy Energies. Now, I don't think you need to run Skyla in this deck, but I think we will keep Skyla in this deck because of the chance of needing that Skyfield. So that'd be the chance, but you don't need Skyla in this deck, but just in case you need that stadium, there you go. So let's go ahead and get started, guys, here. We got Xerneas as hopefully our attacker that we first hit. Chances of getting Xerneas are very low because we only run 1 copy of Xerneas, but it's just that there if. And if you ever do get them, you can always bench them, possibly to use them as a backup attacker for that Geomancy to power up your Xerneas. Now, Xerneas, Gardevoir. Obviously, Gardevoir only needs 2 energies, so that's why you would have Xerneas here. And yeah, I mean, I used to run 2 Xerneases. You don't need to run 2 Xerneases, really. You're going to get them Gardevoir more than likely as a start, as an attacker. But, I mean, if you do get the Xerneas, it's awesome. Now, you run 2 Hoopas, and Xerneas is also there for a backup attacker to get rid of that Carbake too. So, I mean, you're not really going to use Xerneas as a backup attacker, but it's there for a counter. So, Hoopa EX, you run 2 copies of Hoopa EX, obviously for that Scoundrel Ring ability to grab 3 EX Pokemon from your deck, and then. Yeah, you're not going to use him as a backup attacker. Obviously, you don't run Psychic in this deck, but he's just there for Scoundrel Ring. You need 2 Hoopas because you're running such a high level of EX Pokemon in this deck, so you need to have Hoopa in there to grab out the Pokemon. We run 2 Shamans in here, obviously, for that setup ability to draw up to 6 cards in your hand when you play them from your hand to the bench. Obviously, he's needed in this deck. You have no choice. You need to have 2 Shaman. It's preferred to have 4 from what I hear, anywhere from 3 to 4, just like Mega Rayquaza, but you don't need 4. Obviously, I do not run 4. I run 2 because I only own 2, but 2 is the bare minimum. You can't have anything less than 2 in the Shaman, which is another reason why this deck is such an expensive deck. Let's just say if there wasn't Shaman and EX in this deck, it wouldn't be that expensive, but because you need Shaman, that's why it's an expensive deck. Again, we are running 3 Dragonite EXs. Obviously, we are discarding Pokemon with Despair Ray. Now, Despair Ray's ability says to discard as many bench Pokemon on as you like. This deck does 10 more damage for each bench Pokemon you discard in any way. It does a base damage of 110. So, let's say you get Skyfield out and you have 8 Pokemon out. You're doing a total of 180 damage with, I believe 190, 180 damage, whatever it comes out to be, if you have Skyfield out. And so that's why you need Dragonite. Let's say you have a lot of your Pokemon in your discard. Dragonite is here to go ahead and grab 2 basic Pokemon except for Dragonite EX from your basic. They're basic from your discard and put them back in your hand. And then you just play them. Boom, boom. Use Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir's attack. Discard them. Boom. I mean, it's a cycling deck. It's such a proficient, such a very consistent deck that you need to have Dragonite in there to make it such a consistent deck, and it makes it very OP. Now we do run, however, 4 Gardevoir EXs. 4 Gardevoir EXs here. Interesting. These are the expensive ones. I do not suggest you guys buy them. I suggest you guys just go with this Gardevoir EX because it's so much cheaper. I think it's like a $2 card, whereas this is like a $13 card. And these two are like $10 cards. So just whatever, you know, I ended up like trading for these ones. I pulled this one, I traded for those, and I pulled that one. So that's how I got those cards. I didn't pay a dime on those cards. So, but you know, Gardevoir, obviously we're gonna bench him, bench her. I mean, because it's a girl Pokemon, and we're gonna use her as a bench Pokemon until we can evolve her into Mega Gardevoir for the attack. You can use Gardevoir as a backup attacker to do 120 or 180, depending what Pokemon you use as a backup attacker. So if you do need to use Gardevoir as an attacker, you can. She's there. That's what it's there for. But mainly the reason why we have her there is for Mega Gardevoir. Now this is a $16 card. I end up actually pulling all those, if I remember right. I never actually ended up buying those Mega Gardevoirs. No, wait, no. I bought 2 of them. I traded for 1. So, I never bought any of those. Those are $16, you know, for Mega Gardevoirs. You could get the cheaper one for, I think, like $10. But, you know, the cool thing about Mega Gardevoir here, it's got a 210 HP, so it's pretty beefy, and it's dual type. So you're hitting for Fairy, and you're hitting for Psychic. Now, you're hitting, literally, Mewtwo for 1 hit knockout with just this right here. You're doing 220 for 110. So, obviously, the Despair Ray is there to go ahead and discard. So you're 180 if you need to go ahead to 190, I believe. If you need to, go ahead and discard them all. Normally you wouldn't. You'd be hitting for 180, 170, whatever it is, to keep at least 1 or 2 Pokemon on your bench, which would normally basically be Mega Gardevoirs, so you can start powering up for your next attack. So typically you'd have anywhere from 1 to 2 Mega Gardevoirs on your bench. Now, Mega Gardevoir is a tricky deck too, so it's not easy deck. It's actually there for the advanced player. So just remember that, guys. You can dead draw on this deck, and it's very consistent. I mean, it doesn't matter how consistent your decks can be. It can be the most consistent deck in the world, and you can still get dead draws. But the problem is, if it doesn't set up correctly, you'll either get dead draws, or you will set yourself up to the point where you will lose real quickly because you don't know what you're doing. So it's actually highly recommended that you are an advanced player to play this deck. Skyfield, obviously, to further the damage of Mega Gardevoir to 8 benches space for Mega Gardevoir to do the damage instead of the 5. Now you get Skyfield. Skyfield is just, it's going to make this deck completely OP, and so instead of 5, you get 8 Pokemon on your bench. You run 3 Spirit Links, obviously, because we have 3 Gardevoirs to not lose our turn. You run 1 Super Rod to go ahead and grab 3 Pokemon or 3 energies, or 1 or 2, whatever, up to 3 of any order there of basics. It's any Pokemon or 3 basic energies, whatever it is. We run Super Rod, obviously, for that, just for the consistency, to make this deck more consistent, to run that way. You do need to have Super Rod. You do need to have Rock Skirt in this deck, so just remember that. You do not run 2 of 2 of the same one. You do not run 2 or the other of 1. It's both just 1 Super Rod, 1 Rock Skirt in this deck for consistency issues, and 3 to 4 Dragonite EXs in this deck to make it run properly. So we're running 3 Mega Turbos, and obviously that's for consistency with those Dragonites and Super Rod and Rock Skirt. It's for consistency purposes, guys. So just remember that. We are running 3 Mega Turbos here, obviously, to go ahead and power up Mega Gardevoir if you need to. More than likely, you're going to be using it for the bench Pokemon, because you'll have already a Gardevoir out and as an active to attack. But this is to go ahead and power up your next Gardevoir. Obviously, grab an energy from your discard and attach to a Mega Pokemon. We run 3 Trainer's Mails. Obviously, take a look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Pick 1 trainer card from that you see, except for Trainer's Mail, reveal it to your opponent, and shuffle your deck afterwards. I put that in hand. Obviously, it's just for all your just for consistency. It's just a consistency card, guys. It's to get your trainers out there ASAP. Now we run 4 Ultra Balls, obviously multiple reasons, to get the Hoopas out, to get those Gardevoirs out, all the Pokemon basically in this deck, because there's nothing under level, under 890 HP, so Ultra Ball is obviously you need 4 of them. And we are running 4 VS Seekers for the sole fact of how many supporters that we run in this deck. Obviously, grab the supporter from your discard pile, put it in your hand. Just put it in your hand, and you can go ahead and use it if you need to. It's a needed card for consistency. You cannot run a deck without VS Seeker in this format. Until it rotates out, which I don't think they're going to rotate it out because I think they're reprinting it. You need VS Seeker. You need to have 4 of them in your deck for consistency. And that Seeker VS Seeker is like a $25 card. I do not suggest you guys go out there and buy it. That's an expensive card. I suggest you guys get the $5 version of VS Seeker instead. I got that because of a trade. I wanted it badly just to bling out my deck, and that's why I got it. We got Pokemon Ranger here, obviously to go ahead and counter Reggie-Eyes and, you know, just a lot of those other tech cards out there. So a Ranger is just a tech card. You don't need the full art. The full art's a little bit more expensive than the other card. I mean, you're looking at, I think it's a $8 card. Full art. It might be $4. I can't remember. You could just go ahead and get the normal card for 50 cents. Really, just get the normal card. We got Brock Straight here. I do have a full art one, but you don't need a full art. Again, you just get the normal 50-cent one. This is Reaver's House. It's like $1.50, but just get the 50-cent one. You know, Brock Script's here, obviously, for consistency. Again, shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards in your discard pile into your deck. It's for consistency. It's you need to get those Dragonites back so you can get more Pokemon. It's there for the specific reasons. Skyla. Obviously, it's to get that emergency Skyfield and any other type of, Spirit Link, Mega Turbo. It's really just for any type of trainer that you need for an emergency. You run 2 Lysanders, obviously. Obviously, you guys know what Lysander does, but at this point, it just goes ahead and counters by switching your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or active Pokemon for easy kill or to stall. And obviously, it's for consistency and draw support or shuffle power. It's there to stall at your opponent if they're winning, knock them down to like two cards because they have 2 prize cards. You get 6 cards because you're losing, right? It's a great card to go ahead and stall. My friends hate me doing that because they know I can win the game that way sometimes. Sometimes it's a game changer. You can win that way just by using N. That's why N's used instead of Judge a lot of times. So we got, however, Judge is actually a good substitute if you do not have N. So whereas N is how many cards you have left in your discard, and Judge is both players just draw 4 cards. Shuffle your hand and draw 4 cards. Professor Sycamore, again, is your most powerful card that you have in your deck for trainers and supporter. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. It's just so many things I can say about Sycamore. You guys know what Sycamore does. You need to have Sycamore. And again, we run 4 of them for consistency. Not for decking yourself out, it's for consistency. We run 4 DCE. Now, most people do not run more than 2 DCE in this deck. I say run 4. And the reason why, you never know when they're going to go ahead and Lysander out Dragonite EX. You have so many Dragonites in this deck that you need to have a DCE, so you're going to go ahead and use a backup attacker Dragonite. This is why we run 4 of these babies here. And you never know if they're going to, Lysander out Hoopa. The easy retreat. That's why you run 4 of them. It's a horrible strategy, I know, but you need something to counter Lysander, guys. We don't run Floatstone in this because you're discarding Pokemon, so you need to have something for either retreat or backup attacker, which is your Dragonite EX. So that's why we run 4 DCE. It's for the power of Dragonite EX, really. And of course, we run our 8 fairy energies for the normal power-up of Mega Gardevoir. And Dragonite EX can use it obviously as well. So we're using the 4 fairy energies to power up our deck with the attacks. Well, you guys, that's all I have, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, thank you for supporting me on my videos. I will have much more content in the near future for you guys here. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you guys can. And I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.